So we're beginning with our feet flat onto the floor, knees are in a parallel position, feet parallel position, and I've got my heels roughly underneath the creases of my knees. We're coming in for our pelvic curl. So the collarbone is smiling nice and wide, shoulders anchored down to the floor. So organize your shoulders so that they're nice and comfortable onto your mat. And we're going to start just allowing ourselves to relax into the mat. So we're not tensing onto our mat. Allow the body to feel supported by the mat and the floor underneath you. Take an in-breath here. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone towards your nose. You're going to push into the soles of your feet and allow the spine to peel off the floor piece by piece. All 10 toes pushing down. Gentle support through and stability through the front of the body, so not allowing the rib cage to flare. Rib cage is staying, pulling down towards the back of the body, in fact, gently. And then exhale down. Here's one. We start with a neutral position with the pelvis. We're not tucking or tilting. On the exhale, my tailbone points towards my nose. I push into the soles of my feet as I allow the spine to lift off the floor piece by piece. Collarbone stays smiling wide. In breath here. Exhale down. And here's 3. I'm keeping all 10 toes to the floor. 4. 'So for this next couple, we can think about what our legs are doing. We're keeping them in a parallel position. So that means not allowing the thighs to come out to the side and not allowing them to come in towards each other. They just stay nice and parallel. Slight gap between the knees. Nice. And then last one here, taking an inhale. Exhale. Spine is long, lengthened as we lift. We keep the collarbone smiling wide. We take an inhale at the top. We exhale, soften from the back of the throat, soften through the back of the breastbone, back of the chest. Mid back comes down to the floor, lower back comes down to the floor, and then your hips are coming down very last. Nice. From here, we're going to hug the knees in towards the body. If you want to, you can rock the body side to side here, or you can do circles. So meaning you can circle the knees. And then from here, we're bringing one leg onto the floor at a time. I'm going to bring my arms back down into that low V position. So that's just the arms down by the side here, a slight space between the arms and the body. We're back into our neutral pelvis, not tucking or tilting. And we're going to keep both sides of the waist as evenly lengthened as we bring the right leg up into a tabletop position. Tabletop meaning we've got the calf roughly parallel to the floor, the shin roughly parallel to the ceiling, the knee is over the hip. The leg shape is going to stay the same as we hinge from this right hip to tap that right foot down to the floor. And exhale, lift. We're going for 6. So notice my knee isn't trying to open and close here. The hinge is just happening from this hip. And at the same time, I'm also keeping my pelvis nice and stable. So there's no rocking going on with my pelvis here. I think we've got 3 more, so I'm going to count these out. I'm inhale, tap in, exhale, return. You can reverse the pattern if you want to, as long as you're breathing in and out nice and evenly. Last 2. Last one here. Nice. From here, placing that right foot onto the floor. Finding our stability again. So I noticed there that sometimes we can dip into one side. So we just want to even ourselves up again for a good starting point. And then we bring that left leg into a tabletop position, making sure we're not hiking those hips. And we tap the left foot down. We've got 6. Right kneecap facing straight forward. Notice that thigh's not trying to drift out to the side. Thighs coming straight out the hip. Here's 3. 4. We're going to 6. Lifting the leg to complete the move, placing the foot onto the floor, sliding both legs long here. I'm going to go for feet, legs roughly as wide as my mat. You just bring your legs into whichever position you want. If you want to, you can go narrow. I'm going wide because I want an opening across my hips today. That's what my body feels like it's asking for. We're going for roll up prep. We bring the arms all the way up and overhead behind us. Now the breath pattern for this one is quite helpful to follow a specific breath pattern because it's going to help us when we come to do the full move later on in the week. But today we're doing prep. So we inhale the arms, head and chest. And we exhale, gently pulse the chest forward. 3, 2, 1. Coming down, upper spine now, coming down onto the floor piece by piece, and then the arms reach up and overhead. So the breath pattern is that we inhale, we lift the arms, head and chest. On the exhale, it's pulsing today. 3, 2, 1. When we come to do the full move, the exhale, we would be sitting up to come up to seated. But for today, here's our prep. So you've got this one in the bag. You've always got this option to come back to. Pulse. 3, 2, 1. I've got my feet flexed. I'm pushing my thighs away from my pelvis. Imagine I'm trying to push the soles of my feet into an imaginary flat surface beneath them. This is why I do voiceovers most of the time. And we go one more here. We're going to inhale, arms, head, chest. Exhale, so I can focus on the moves then. And then coming all the way down. Reach, just bring the legs together, point the toes away, really stretch out through the front of the body. Bringing the arms down by your side, so just adjust my top. Arms down by your side. Bring the right leg up into a tabletop. We're going into leg circles. We want to make sure, again, hips are nice and even. We're trying not to push that rib cage up towards the ceiling. Collarbone is smiling wide, and we have the hands down on the floor, shoulders away from the ears. Right thigh bone. Circles in towards the midline first of all, down and around. So you're drawing a circle over the hip bone with your knee. Only taking that circle as wide as you feel you've got that control. We don't want to feel like we're having to strain to bring our leg into the circle. It shouldn't feel like a massive effort. It may be challenging. I find leg circles quite challenging personally. But what we don't want to feel like is that we're forcing and having to hike ourselves back. So that means that circle can be as wide or as narrow as it needs to be today. Let's reverse our circle either direction. I count these out. So we're going to go for 8. Drawing the top of our circle here. That's the top of the circle. This is 4. Shoulders relaxed. 5, 6, 7, and 8. My hip is asking me for a hug. So when we come to this one, it's 8th one here. Let's hug this right leg. I'm on my right leg. Doesn't matter which one you start with. In towards the body. And then send that right leg long. Same with the left leg. We come up into our tabletop. We're trying to stay even through the hips, through both sides of the waist. This left thigh bone is going to circle into the midline 8 times. Shoulders away from the ears. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then reverse other direction for 8. And we go 8, 7. Keep the breath nice and even. Try not to hold the breath. Last 4, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And this hip is also asking for a hug, so it'd be rude not to give. There we are, hugging the thigh in towards us. I'm going to use this left leg to help me come up to seated. You can come up to seated any way you feel. Well, that's my way of getting up to seated. We're coming into side bends. So leg options here. I like to go for the legs apart in this way. Some people prefer to have both knees, one knee stacking on top of the other. This just feels so nice for me, so I'm going to go for that option. My right hand's on the floor, my left hand comes behind my head. I'm pushing into the right hand to help my spine side bend. So it's bending, the rib cage are going out to the left as I bend over to my right. And then reversing, I'm going to send my rib cage on the right side coming in towards my bicep heel on that right side. So the side bend is now happening in the opposite direction. Okay, here's 2. And back. 3. And back. Now on 4, we're going to hold ourselves into our side bend out to the left. So I'm side bending over to the right. The rib cage is going to the left. And then we're going to twist to look down to the floor. Looking forward. Twisting, looking down and pushing into this right hand. Nice. And here's 3. I'm saying nice because this feels really good for me today. And then last time here, 4. This side definitely needed this. Let's see how the other side feels. Coming all the way up and out of it. Same on the other side. So I'm just going to switch my legs to go to the other side. Now I've got the left hand down. Right hand behind the head. Push the back of the head into the hands just to stop the head from creeping forward, at least to begin with. And then from here, pushing into that left hand. Rib cage goes over to the right and reversing. Rib cage comes over to the left. And push 2. Drawing in. And 3. Now on this 4th one, we stay in our side bend. So I'm still pushing into this left hand. I'm side bending and now I'm rotating down. 1. Looking forward. I'm still side bending. And 2. 3. Last one. Nice, nice. Let's come out of this. When I say nice, it means it feels nice. It's not all the time in Pilates, but sometimes we feel the benefits as we're doing it. Sometimes we feel the benefits afterwards. Being so honest here. So we're coming into our 4-point kneel. We want our pointer fingers, 4 fingers, facing forward. Got my fingers open here. Thinking about pushing the chest away from the floor. I'm going to come a little bit further forward. Push the chest away from the floor. Try not to let the head drop down here. Picking up the head from the back of the throat so the neck is nice and long. Pushing the hands down. We're going to reach the right leg out. So as I've reached this right leg out, I'm trying not to now lean to my left. I'm staying nice and center. I'm going to lift that right leg off the floor and then bring that right knee in 6 times. So the knee comes in and then reaches out long. 1. Knee comes in, reach out long. 2. Here's 3. Oh, don't let the head drop. 4. Keep the chest lifted. 5. And 6. Leg comes out, placing the foot down, knee comes in. Same on the other side. So what we're doing here is we have, as we bring this left leg out, I'm trying not to change the shape of my hips and keeping the hips nice and stable. And that, they're going to stay as stable as I can keep them for the whole move. So that left knee comes in and reaches out. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. Nice. Everything feels nice today. Let's bring that left leg down. Push back into rest position. From here, onto our tummies. Legs together. We're going to have the hands, elbows, forearms onto the floor. Back of the neck is long, lowering the head, chest. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower down. This sense of trying to reach the center of the chest long. Nice long spine as we lift. So what I often see on this one is people coming up, shortening the back of the neck. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. So I'm looking down and forward. And then the other thing is then only coming up as high as you need to. It's not about how high on this one. It's about really getting that upper spine to move backwards. Let's go for one more. Upper spine lifts. And then coming all the way down. And then one last time, we're going to push back into our rest position. Knees together. Coming all the way up and you're done. We are done for today. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a standing routine. So we'll have our vertical camera because I will be standing up. And yeah, I hope to see you for day 2 of this Pilates beginners kickstart. I think that's what I'm calling it. See you then. Take care.